Hey guys, what's up? Pinna here, and welcome to, once again, Let's Play Super Mario Sunshine. In the last episode, we finished off the last of the main areas with Pinna Village, and defeated the final boss of the game, Bowser. In this episode, in a moment, you're going to be seeing the game sped up, because we are doing the 100 coin shines in this video. Now, I'm going to make note of a couple things while this starts to play, and you'll notice as soon as I start the first level that we're going to be playing at double speed because this is post-commentated, because trust me, as I'll explain momentarily, you don't want to see the raw file of this. It was over 2 hours long. So, for this first stage, Bianco Hills, I would recommend starting with episode 8, the Red Coins of the Lake, or choosing Red Coins of the Lake, because while playing these missions, the episode that you choose will actually matter quite a bit. Some stages you can only get the 100 coins with certain episodes, so do pay attention to what episodes I'm selecting. I do show them, so you will be able to see them, but I will probably also mention them as the video goes on. Since this is post-commentated, I'll, make an actual note. If you're watching this in the background, you do need to be aware of that as well, because if not, you pick the wrong thing because you're playing along, then you're probably going to get to a certain amount of coins and not be able to find any more in the stage, so you do want to make sure you pick the right stage. For stage 1, well no, let's go over a few other things first. When doing the 100 coin shines, you will get a 1-up for every 50 coins you get, so this is a very good way to make extra lives. If you're later on going to do the secret shines and you're not confident about some of them, like I will not be, then this is a very good way to get extra lives. I believe I ended up with 36 or 38 by the end of recording all of these. The other thing to make note of is if you die or if you enter a secret area, your coin count will be reset to 0, so do not do that. It's more so letting you know not to go into the secret areas. And there are some exceptions where you could go to different parts of the stage where you might consider it being like, oh, you might lose your coins here, but you won't. And I'll explain those when we get into those stages. A good example of that is the underwater area in Noki Bay where you did the red coin fish and cleaned the eel's teeth. That's one example where you won't lose your coins. In addition to that, blue coins and red coins will not count towards your total, so don't pick a red coin stage just because you're like, oh sweet, that's a free 16 coins, because you're used to Mario 64, where the red coins actually give you 2 and the blue give you 5. They don't give you anything in this game, so do not bother with those. Now, moving on to the actual stage, Bianco Hills. From the start, in choosing episode 8, the first thing that I really did was go around and look for the beds of flowers that are in a circular pattern. Some of the flowers will be fake, they'll turn into bad guys. You can stomp on those and get 1 coin for each of them. Then if you stand in the middle and do a spin while holding down flood, you'll be able to water the plants all at once, and that should give you 5 to 6 coins each time you do that. In addition, as you can see right now, also spraying the actual windmills on each of those platforms will net you a coin as well, so make sure that you pick those up. In addition to that, there are some platforms, I believe I'll show one relatively soon, that will give you blue coins instead. That one I already watered, but the one that I'm about to go to right now, I believe, yes, this one right here, I don't water this one because I know for a fact this is a blue coin, so you will have to watch out for that if you're trying to avoid the blue coins. I did accidentally grab some of them, not in this stage, but I will still be showing them in the blue coin shines whenever we get back to it. I have the video saved, they're just those individual parts on my computer, so it's not going to be an issue. That windmill right there did not have a coin because it was actually where the shine sprite appears for the 100 coin shines. Because, though it was not the case for Mario 64, you cannot pick up the 100 coin shine and stay in the level. In Mario 64, what would happen was it would just say, hey, you got 100 coins and you gain more power, would you like to save? And you could hit yes or no, and you would continue on through the level. In Mario Sunshine, however, once you collect the 100 coin shine, it's going to boot you out of the level, so you're not able to collect multiple ones at once. So you actively have to be going for the shine, so yeah, don't even bother trying to get it at a later point. Or, trying to get it during another shine. So, another thing to point out is the blue things that I just sprayed that are on top of the trees. You will have to be a fair distance away from them, as that one on the ground just showed, but I would highly recommend getting rid of those. The main reason being is because they will mess you up momentarily and getting a very, very high amount of the coins that you're going to need. Make sure that you also destroy the pokies as well. This one only gave me 1 coin, but the one up here gave me 3. Right here, I believe I showed off, yes, that while these logs look similar to the ones from Mario 64, ground pounding on them does not do anything. Bit of a shame, but what are you going to do? So So I hop up here, and this one gives me 3 coins, and you don't have to get every single coin, but the more coins you get, the better, which is why I'm pretty picky about it. But I had more than enough coins to finish the level. You can see plenty on screen that I did not collect later on the tight ropes, that if you're running them just a bit short, then you should be able to get them no problem. In addition to that, there will be a little bit of cutting here and there. We're about to come up to a transition. You will need Yoshi for this level, so make sure that you're able to get him. Also try to memorize which fruit he had at the start. In my case, it was a pineapple, which I tried to bring back to him, but I ended up losing him on the way back because, as I'm about to know, which this is important to know, Yoshi cannot actually use the tight ropes in any way, so you have to jump over the water and just make sure you don't get hit. Now, whenever you collect Yoshi, if you spray the juice at the beehives that are on the stage, I'd recommend eating the 3 bees that are already there because they give you 1 coin each. If you spray the beehive, it will drop 1 coin, and then all the bees will run out and attack you. As you can see, I'm getting hit right here multiple times. However, each bee that Yoshi eats is worth 1 coin, which totals up to be a lot because there's actually 2 beehives here. So you're going to be getting a very high amount of coins from that. That blue coin right there will show up whenever you've eaten all the bees from that beehive. So if you're looking for blue coins as well, then that's where one of them would be. Yeah, it's a pretty bad joke. But yes, the bees actually give you quite a bit of your coins, so make sure that you do this part in particular. If you lose Yoshi, he'll be back at the start where he was before, probably asking for a different fruit, but if he's not, that's good. Either way, you're going to have to check. Eating all the bees there will give you a 1-up, which isn't really that important, kind of like whenever I collected the 100 coins in Mario 64, I had way too many lives. I'm going to have way too many lives here as well, but it's something to make note of. There are some coins that are kind of scattered about in the water. You can just jump up and grab them. You could use a lily pad to go around and try to find them. Either way, it's probably not the fastest route to go, and I'm not really showing the fastest route. It's just kind of the route that I went with. Right here, showing that a red coin does not count towards your total. It stayed at 92 when I collected it. But yeah, this is just the method that I use for collecting them. Really, what's important to make sure to follow along with is choosing the correct episode. And it doesn't have to be just this episode. I'm sure there are others, but this is the one that I remember doing it last time on, so I am quite certain that this one will work. Either way, as you can see, there's plenty of coins on the tie ropes. There's still some under here. There's some under the bridge as well, which I ended up getting the last one from that point right there. And then, of course, as I mentioned, the shine will appear right there. So once you've collected it, you will get booted out of the level, and in a second here, we're going to transition to the second stage, Ricco Harbor. Now, one other thing to make note of is, besides the fact that I still, unfortunately, have this cold, I'm trying to get rid of it, so if my voice still sounds off, that's probably why. I am trying to, kick it as fast as I can, but no promises. One thing to note is, if this seems like it's going by fast, then, it's because I actually had an idea of what I'm doing. If you don't, this can definitely mess you up, so if there's any part of the guide you'd want to pay attention to while playing along, this is probably it. For Ricco Harbor, I chose episode 3, which is the Caged Shine Sprite. And the first thing you want to do in here is immediately go into the sewer area. There's just a manhole cover right at the start. Each of these areas will just have coins littered about them as you scatter through, and make sure that you actually jump up at each intersection. As you can see right here, even though I didn't actually, make it up there, it still gave me coins. I believe there were 7 in that area, so make sure that you pick up all the coins in here, because it's a pretty good chunk. As you can see, I've already collected over a third of what I need. That gave me 38 coins out of 100, so that's a pretty high percentage when looking for the 100 coins, so make sure that you do that part in particular. Now I remember the one other thing I was going to say. Also, make sure to keep an eye on your water. It's actually very easy to run out whenever you're just hovering around looking for coins and trying to stay up on high platforms, so, yeah, just try to keep an eye on it. It never ended up being the death of me, but there were times that I actually had to go back and get water, so every time that you're in an area of water, just go ahead and fill up. Even if it's a little bit, it might be enough to actually matter. After ground pounding those boxes at the start, which I completely forgot about, I ended up going up to the area where all the scaffolding is. When it comes to these bloopers, don't spray them with water to knock them off, just jump on them, and sometimes even then the coin will actually fall off the side. I did a lot of messing around right here. I accidentally jumped on some of those bloopers and the coins fell off. However, even after that 3.5 minutes of me looking around, the coin counter that I had was exactly the same. I tried going down that row of all of the houses where the Pianta is, where the rocket nozzle is. There's no coins there. I fell off once or twice and didn't bother collecting any coins in the water just yet, so I ended up skipping a lot of that stuff. It was about 3.5 minutes, and that was with it being sped up, so it was more like about oh, I don't know, 6 minutes, 15 seconds of me just messing around, not getting any coins at all. Make sure you collect those as well, the ones that are on that little, I don't know what you call it. I guess it's a crane. Didn't really see if it had the claw part on it or not, but there are coins that are on that crane, both on that main part and on the actual part that moves around, so you can get a pretty decent amount from that. If you go off to this boat that's on the side, this is near where the blooper surfing is. Not the one that's in the secret, the original one, mind you, whenever you first start the level, and the one that you also get the A-Red coins from. There's some coins up there on the top of the boat as well. You can kill the blooper and get another one. So that should put you at around, hopefully, 70. This mission actually doesn't have a lot of coins. Believe it or not, for being stage 2, this is actually one of the harder ones to get overall. There's not a lot of, I'll bet you thought I fell off right there, huh? There's not a lot of lenience with this. It's not as bad as some of the ones in Mario 64 where if you miss like 3 or 4, you're done. But there's probably only, I would say, maybe about 114 per level. So you are going to have to be pretty careful in making sure you don't kill too many of the bloopers and not collect the coins. So right there I ended up falling off, and I believe, did I show the rest of the trip back? There might have been something I missed, or I might have just decided to show the trip back. Yeah, I did decide to show it back. Okay. But, yeah, if you fall off, then just pretty much make your way back up. If the coin falls off, if you feel like you're running behind on coins, then I would say, yeah, go ahead and fall down and get it. Right here, you can see I picked up a blue coin by accident, and I'm just like, oh, well, crud. Now what am I going to do? And I figured, oh, I'll just save, I'll cut that part of the video out, and then I'll just save it to my desktop, and then we'll see it in the 100 coins, which is what I ended up doing. Make sure to do this spot right here. You can do a couple wall kicks, and that will give you about 7 or so coins, so that's a very helpful one to get. Kill the bloopers that are at the top of the area, that will give you another 2. The rocket nozzle's right there if you want it, but really you don't need it for this level. There's nothing higher up than pretty much where we're at right now. I tried to look around, like, up there where that top of the cage was, and there didn't appear to be anything there, so I ended up not going that way. Since we're pretty close, we're only 12 coins shy. I know there's a spot where you could fall off and get a couple coins that way, as well as one of the blue coins, and since I'd already messed up, I figured, well, it's not that big a deal if I grab the blue coins. I'm not going out of my way to get them, but there's probably about 5 or 6 in this first half of the video that I accidentally picked up. I'm not sure about the second half since I haven't edited it yet, but, well, we'll find out shortly. But yeah, dropping down there, I ended up getting 5 coins from that as well as a blue coin. If you swim underwater here, you can grab another 4, as well as another blue coin if you're going for those. If not, it's not a big deal, so if that's the case, then you really don't have to worry about it. The last place that I ended up going was a little bit unconventional, but it ended up working. You can use the rocket nozzle. It's up on top of the housing area that I mentioned where I cut about the 6 minutes out. If you want to get the rocket nozzle here to grab the rest of the coins, you don't have to, but you can. In the area where the secret mission is, not the blooper surfing secret shine, but the other one where it's got all those little rolling logs, they brought it back in Mario Galaxy, you can actually get up to the top of this, and normally you would use the rocket nozzle in order to jump way up high and grab a bunch of coins, and grab a blue coin as well, but if you do a side flip and jump up, then you're able to grab at least 1 coin, and 1 coin was all I needed, so I ended up not getting the rocket nozzle. It was just easier to do it that way. So, next, let's go ahead and move on to Gelato Beach. For this episode, I would recommend the Watermelon Festival highly. Usually if you don't know which way to go, which, since you're watching this, it's not that big a deal, but if you don't know which way to go, usually episode 8 is a pretty good choice. Or if there's a mission that you played through where you're like, wow, okay, it seemed like there was a lot of coins in that mission, that might be a good one as well. Pinna Park would be a great episode, it'd be a great example of that, which we'll be seeing after this mission, but for this first one, or for this first part of Gelato Beach, you're going to want to swim behind where you started, and there's a couple of trees right here. They're kind of thin, so they're a little bit hard to navigate, but they have 4 coins on top of the palm trees on each of those, so that will give you 12, a little over 10%, which isn't a lot, but it helps, and trust me, the less time you spend in this level, the better, because it's a pain. This one easily took me the longest. There's a swing set right here that I had a little bit of miscalculation with because I was trying to avoid getting the blue coin, but there's another 5 on that, so that'll get you to 17, so about 1/5 of what you need is just directly behind you from the start. If we actually continue back in the level proper, a large portion of your coins, you're going to pretty much have to do this, is by spraying the cataquacks and jumping on them. Once you spray them into the ground and jump on them, you'll get a coin. It doesn't matter if they're on the sand or not, they don't have to be. The only difference between them being in the sand and on the regular ground is if you spray them, they'll obviously fall over like that, and if they fall over while they're on the ground, they'll get up faster, but you can still jump on them for a coin. This is a very high percentage of your coins, so you are going to have to do this. If you're not sure if you've gotten one or not, then spray it again and jump on it again, because you don't want to be missing any coins here. So make sure that you get all of these, and remember there are some on the second level. I'll go up to get them very shortly. I don't know what happened to that coin. It probably just went up there and I wasn't able to get to it in time. One of the issues in getting the 100 coin shines in this game in particular is the coins, typically, if they actually appear from enemies or what have you, will disappear very, very quickly. So you have to be pretty fast on the draw. If they're just there normally, it's not that big a deal, but you probably saw it in stage 1 as well. If you end up trying to kill an enemy, like one of those little fake flowers, then you have to grab the coin pretty quickly. So in any method of a coin appearing, you're usually going to have to be pretty fast in grabbing it before it goes away. Either way, we picked up a pretty decent amount here. We're at about 30, yeah, high 30s. You should have around, I believe there's about, there's a pretty high amount. I want to say there's about 20 or so cataquacks. If my coin count's any indication, that's about 22. I believe there's 24 in total, if I remember correctly, from the guide that I read. So that's a pretty high amount. That's about a quarter of your coins that you're going to need. So make sure that you do this. Besides, it's fun to get revenge on these guys for messing you up while playing the Watermelon Festival. Pretty much in this stage, actually, what you're doing is the opposite of what the game wants you to do, which is stomping on the cataquacks instead of delivering the watermelons, and then breaking the watermelons over and over because they keep giving you coins until a certain point. If you go up into that little hut right there, you could do like a little backflip jump. There's another 4 coins in there as well as a blue coin. I don't know why I went so out of order on this one, but if you head down here where you actually take the watermelon, you can go under this part, just keep hitting B until you get under it. And there's actually a bunch of coins in this back area right here. The second one that I pick up is a blue coin, but the rest of them are regular coins, so that's a decent amount right there. I believe that's 6 or... that was a 2x4 grid, so not counting the blue coin, that was 7 coins right there, so... you know, that's enough to make a difference. In this game, they're not as... coins aren't all over the place like they were in Mario 64 in some of the stages, so making sure you pick up every coin helps a lot. Now, back to the melons. If you end up breaking the melons over and over, they will constantly give you coins until a certain point. I believe it's about 10. There are 3 in total, the main one that you actually delivered as well as 2 others. You saw me just finish off the other one right there. I pretty much just cut me destroying the watermelon over and over because it took a little while to actually get it to break, because sometimes it just would not break when it should have. So, just pay attention to my coin counter each time that I cut right there. So right here, I'm pushing the watermelon, I grab the coin, that brought me up to 69, now I'm at 77 before it breaks and it doesn't give me anymore. So, just keep breaking the watermelons over and over until they stop giving you coins. Once they stop giving you coins, then you know you've reached your limit. But I believe it gives you 9 or maybe even 10 for each one, so if that's the case, that's anywhere between 27 to 30 coins right there. You'll notice that little platform that I jumped up onto that had the rocket nozzle also gave me another 6 coins. I ended up going back for the rocket nozzle later in the stage. Right here, I started spraying the birds. If you spray the green birds, and this is where I recommend you stand because it's easiest to grab the coins just while they're perched on there. You can grab them pretty easily. But that's where I would recommend spraying the birds from. But the blue birds will give you blue coins, so don't bother with them if you're not going for those. If you're going for the coins, then all you want is the green birds, and they will drop 1 coin each after you've gotten them. If you head along the little pathway that some people try to push the watermelon across and have varying degrees of success, which is usually not much, you'll see a series of tight ropes here. Now, if I jump down into that little area right there, you can kind of see them for a second. There's a blue coin as well as 2 yellow coins. I ended up having Mario, he was trying to do something right there. There's some kind of tightrope move that he does where he basically tries to swing as far as he can. And if you ever want him to stop that, all you have to do is just hold B and eventually he'll just grab onto it proper and climb up. Right here, I ended up trying to, note that I say try, I tried to grab these coins up here. I don't know how you're supposed to get them, I guess rocket to them, but that ended up not working, so I ended up just a bit shy of what I needed. So instead, I ended up taking the rocket nozzle and took it over to where the little hut is over here, just next to where the sandbird egg is. Unfortunately, there's also a beehive there, and I was actually worried as I was doing this part that the bees might kill me because I had 99 coins and I was getting hit by them a lot. So you can see I have 99 right here, and I spent quite a while just circling this thing, trying to get that last coin. I even picked up the blue coin before I got the other one, so I guess the best spot to stand would probably be on this little reflector thing and just come at it from an angle like that. And if you can manage to adjust properly, which is not what I was doing, you'd be able to get the 100 coins done pretty quickly there. This one's not very hard, it's more so time consuming than anything else. You know, it's constantly breaking the watermelons, stomping out all the cataquacks, and you know, just kind of looking around for coins. It's not very difficult. You're probably not going to die here unless a cataquack just, you know, gets you stuck in a corner like you did to me. Thankfully, this last one in this episode, or in this video, Pinna Park, is incredibly easy. Choosing episode 2, the Beach Cannon Secret, pretty much guarantees you could literally stand here and get 999 coins if you wanted to. Now, the important thing to do here is to stand back away from the Monty Mole firing bullet bills at you, because you don't want him firing the bomb-bombs. The bomb-bombs are not going to help you here. What you want is the missiles to get fired at you. Now, there are 3 different types. You're going to see me collect coins pretty fast here later on, but in spraying the bullet bills, you would get, obviously, at least 2 coins. Now, there are 3 types. You've got the main ones right here, which are the black ones that you typically would expect of a bullet bill, and each time you destroy one by spraying it, then you'll get 2 coins. Note that if it hits the ground that you won't. The ones with the red nose that are kind of purplish in color, those will home in on you, but whenever you destroy them, they will also give you 2 coins. Both of these are pretty common, but there's a third one, we'll be seeing it later on, that's pretty uncommon, so definitely get it when you can. It is a golden bullet bill, and whenever you spray that one and destroy it, it gives you 8 coins, so that is definitely a must, trying to catch those. So this is another one, I wouldn't even say this one's time consuming, it's not near as bad. This probably only took me about, going at normal speed, it probably took me about 5-6 minutes, so, I mean, this one was incredibly easy to get, and, of course, you know, the more of the golden ones that you get, the faster you'll go, so I would recommend just spraying them, grabbing the coins, and then moving back again, because you don't want the bombs to appear, but aside from that, you could literally just do this all day and get up to 999 coins. You could get a bunch of extra lives here if you wanted to, for getting, you know, each time that you got 50 coins, you get a 1-up. You could just stand here over and over if you wanted to. Then once you were done, you could actually go beat the stage proper, and you'd have a ridiculous amount of lives. But this is not, by any means, a hard 100 coin shine to get. Right there, I just missed a golden one. But a couple of them start showing up here in the second half of me trying to get this 100 coins, so I got pretty lucky with that. I was trying to find a point to turn around and try to avoid that missile. Yeah, there's one right there. I was trying to avoid that missile, but it didn't really work out. I got hit by it anyway, so a little bit unfortunate. It's actually probably a good thing that I'm post-commentating this. I just took some Dayquil a little while ago, but I'm ready to get rid of this stopped-up nose. I'm telling you, this is ridiculous. I've got to go edit the next Fire Emblem video, which is chapter 24. Is it 24? Yeah, I think it's 24. I don't know why I just had that big yes. But yeah, I gotta cut out a bunch of nose blowing there, so hopefully this cold will go away soon. Either way, thank you guys for watching. This has been Pinna with the first half of the 100 coin shines, and I will see you guys in the next one. Later.